I personally believe if you learn about the Ghana Stock Exchange and how to invest on the Ghana Stock Exchange, you'll be part of the very few people who will make generational wealth in the future, right? I think in the next 10, 20, 30 years to come, the Ghana Stock Exchange will be more like a hub or grounds for the new generational rich people from Ghana. And so the best thing you can do is to learn about it. Now, at this point, I am still learning because I believe that one of the principles I believe in life is to embrace lifelong learning. Never assume you know it all. And so every single day I try as much as possible to learn on how to navigate on the Ghana Stock Exchange. And so it's something I'm still learning. But I just want to show you certain stats to make a solid case for myself. Because as I'm saying, I'm telling you that in the next 10, 20, 30 years, the Ghana Stock Exchange is going to produce generationally rich people or generational rich people. And I strongly believe this will happen. And then you are going to understand why I'm saying this, right? So I think I'm just going round in circles. Anyway, so Ghana Stock Exchange, as compared to the US stock market, is an infant, right? So Ghana Stock Exchange started around 1990. And so approximately, I'm doing this video in 2025. So Ghana Stock Exchange, we will say, it's just around 34 years, right? Or 35 years. So 34, 35 years, right? So first of all, let's check the average return from the Ghana Stock Exchange ever since its inception. So in 1990, you realize that Ghana Stock Exchange made a loss of 29.75%. And so basically it means that if you were invested in the Ghana Stock Exchange around that time, you would have made a loss averagely of negative 29, close to negative 30%. Obviously not a good thing. In 1991, it made a loss of negative 8%. In 1992, it made a loss of negative 3%. Let me tell you this. If you're investing in stocks, right, for me, I think the best strategy is to go the long term. If you invest in stocks, let's say for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you might make losses. But there is actually stats to prove that if you invest in stocks for as long as maybe 10 years, 20 years, you are going to make 100% profit, right? So unless you are not planning to invest that long, but if you have some amount of money and you want to put it away for a very long time, I'll encourage you to invest in stocks, right? For at least 10 years. If you don't have a 10-year plan, I don't think you need to try to venture the stock market. Okay, so basically that's what I think. So in 1993, and so let's say you are investing for 10 years, and then you invest in 1990, you made a loss. 1991, you make a loss, and then 1992, you made a loss. Now in 1993, look at what happened. The Ghana Stock Exchange pumped and made a profit of 113%, clearing all the losses it made the previous 3 years. Okay, in 1994, it also did 124%. In 1995, it did 6%. In 1996, it did 13%. In 1997, it did 41%. In 1998, it did 67%. In 1991, it did 15%. In 2000, it did 16%. 2001, it did 11%. And then 2002, it did 45%, and so on and so forth. In 2003, it did 154%, right? And so clearly, the average return or the cumulative gain from its inception has been 777%. over 26 years. Okay, now putting that into an annual stats, ROI, will mean that the Ghana Stock Exchange annually is expected to give you 12%, which is okay. And this data is from 2011 to 2021. Now, I personally believe it's going to get higher. And the reason why I'm saying this is, you see, basically these times were more like the manual type of investing, or the manual time where people were investing in the Ghana Stock Exchange, right? You have to walk to a broker, and then you have to go through a process, a very long process, to get yourself invested. And so at this point, you realize that the Ghana Stock Exchange is more institutional friendly, right? At that point, it was more institutional friendly because it was more like institutions investing in the stock exchange. Individuals really weren't investing in the stock exchange like that, because the whole process was a bit complex. Okay, so yes, this time around, I believe mass adoption is going on well. At the comfort of your home, you can download an application like IC Wealth or Blackstar Brokers application, and then you just do mobile money transfer and invest in the Ghana Stock Exchange. So I personally believe mass adoption is bringing in individuals, and Ghana Stock Exchange is growing. The adoption rate every single year is growing. It's just been 30 years. Okay, it's just been 30 years. It has potential to grow, and more things are going to happen on the Ghana Stock Exchange. So I personally believe the 12% that you get annually is going to increase, right? The annual return, 12% annual return, is going to go up. And so that being said, now you ask yourself, what are the equities listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange, and which equity am I going to recommend? Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a layman like yourself. I just like to check the Ghana Stock Exchange every single day for opportunities. And so let's just go through the equities listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange, and then I'm going to show you the ones I am looking at and the ones I think you should also look at if you really want to invest in the Ghana Stock Exchange. Now, on the Ghana Stock Exchange, I'm just looking at one commodity, and it is MTN. I'm just looking at MTN. MTN is the only commodity I'm investing in, right? Because I believe MTN has huge potential. Now, personally, I have a set of criteria I go through if I want to invest in stocks, and I believe that MTN meets every single criteria. I'm going to go through that particular set, right? And I believe MTN satisfies completely my criteria, and that's the reason why I choose to invest in MTN. Now, first of all, if I want to invest in an equity, I look at the clientele base. I look at the people who are using that particular product or that particular company every single day, right? And so it's as simple as that. Now, investing in an equity simply means you are buying part of the company. You are more like a shareholder, a part owner of the company. And so you need to see yourself as you buying the company in its entirety. And so if I am buying MTN, or if I want to invest in MTN, the question I'm going to ask myself is, why am I buying MTN? What are the numbers? How does it look like? Right? And I personally believe that in the telco sector, there is no competition. No one can compete with MTN in Ghana. Now look at the Ghana Stock Exchange. MTN is the only telco listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange. So virtually, there is no competition. So if you want to invest in banks, you have EcoBank listed, you have Cal Bank listed, you have Access Bank listed, you have GCB Bank listed. I mean, competition, right? But for the telcos, MTN is the only telecom network listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange. And so there is no competition whatsoever. And so that is the number one point. Now, let's look at the numbers, right? So in Ghana, we have 34 million people. MTN alone has 20 million mobile subscribers, right? And out of those 20 million mobile subscribers, every single day, 17 million of them actively are using the network. 17 million actively every single day. And then 18 million actively are using the mobile money feature of MTN. 18 million. I'm going to go into the financials of MTN so you understand. But basically, I just want you to understand this. In a country of 34 million, 20 million are subscribers of MTN. Every single day, 17 million of Ghanaians are using the product. And then you have 18 million of Ghanaians using another product of this company. And they have no competition on the Ghana Stock Exchange. And so it satisfies that criteria. For me, the first one, the clientele base. Who are the people using it? Now, the second criteria is the ROI, the return on investment. So MTN has been listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange for, I think, 6 years now. They are still young. And for these 6 years, I can tell you confidently that the annual growth rate, the annual return on MTN is around 20%. So it simply means for these 6 years, averagely, if you have, let's say, 100,000 Ghana cedis in MTN, by the end of the year, your 100,000 Ghana cedis becomes 120,000 Ghana cedis. And so every single year, it grows by 20% for the financials. And for me, it is good, right? For me, it is good because the current treasury bill rate in the country today is just around, let's say, treasury bill has been around 14% and the likes, right? It was somewhere around 20. That is the 91-day rate and all that, right? And so if MTN is going to grow by 20% every single time, and then inflation now is heading towards single digits, it's a big win. That means your money invested in MTN over the long period of time is going to beat inflation and is going to grow at a very good rate. And so the financials look good. Now, the reason why I encourage people to look into the stock exchange, especially the Ghana Stock Exchanges, you are going to make money in two ways. One, through the growth of the equity price or the share price, and then two, through the growth of dividends. So because you are a part owner of MTN, at the end of the year, they will declare their financials, and then they will say, well, we sold this amount of data, we did this, we got this amount in fees charged from the mobile money platform. So at the end of the year, we made profit of 100 million, or we made profit of this amount of money. Now we are sharing this profit among our shareholders because you're a part owner. Once you invest in MTN, you buy the shares, you're a part owner. So that's what MTN is going to say, right? And that's what you call dividend. So at the end of every single year, they pay dividend to the share owners. And so you are going to make money from the share price growing by 20% at the end of the year. And also going to make money from dividends, right? And in 2023, from 2023 to 2024, the dividends of MTN grew at a percentage of 35%. Which, bro, I'm not going to lie, it's crazy, right? And there's more room. Just in this year, right, MTN has done, the share price of MTN just in this year has done 42%. This year alone, MTN has done 42%. In 1 week, MTN has done 13%. In 4 weeks, it has done 21%. In 3 months, it has done 13%. In 6 months, it has done 34%. In 1 year, it has done 56%. And then in year to date, it has done 42%. Right? And so MTN is still growing. And it is believed that every single year, the clientele base of MTN grows by 10%. And so it tells you that more people are going to come. It's a company that deals with, network, internet, mobile money, right? Sort of capturing the unbanked, the people who are unbanked, the people who, MTN is sort of a bank for the people who generally will not go to the bank to create an account, right? So it has potential for the future. A lot more people are coming on board. Our population obviously will be growing. People obviously will be coming on the MTN network. You are not going to tell me the MTN network is going to sort of dwindle in the foreseeable future, maybe in the next 10 years or next 20 years or next 30 years. No. You can tell me MTN is going to grow because more people will be coming on board. More people will be using the mobile money feature. The mobile money side has even become a business. It has employed a lot of people in the sector. So more people are going to get on. You understand? And so basically, I think that MTN has potential. And if you really want to invest for the next 10 or 20 years in a company, in a Ghanaian company, it should be MTN. This is the case I'm trying to make for MTN. I personally think in the next 10 or 20 years, investing in MTN will be one of your best financial decisions you would have ever made. But then again, people might say that, I don't have money. How do I invest in MTN? That's what you do, what we call the dollar cost average. In this case, I'll call it the CD cost averaging. Now, you don't need to have a lump sum to invest in MTN. You don't need to have a lump sum to buy stocks, right? I'll do a video later showing how to invest, but I don't need to do a lump sum. You don't need to have a lump sum to buy shares of MTN. You can do dollar cost averaging, or in this case, CD cost averaging. Now, it simply means at the end of every single month, you tell yourself, I'm putting down 200 cedis to buy MTN shares. And so you know that every single month, you are buying 200 cedis, and you can do that over a long period of time. After 10 years, after 20 years, you realize the power of compound interest, and you see how big your money will become. So, wealth creation, actually, it's a long-term play. Most of us growing up, we were made to believe, you just have to make all the money today and then you chill and all that. No, but once you start reading books on personal finance, you realize that you have to build your money over a long period of time. That is how you build wealth, right? So, this is my case for MTN. Let me know your thoughts in the comment box. Thank you.